Welcome back to Restauranttopia. We got Dustin Overholser here talking about Eat Local Ohio and some cool things that they're doing to help you better your brand.
That's a good one. I like the music. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, and high production value over here at Restauranttopia. What's Dave say?
Doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Listen to my podcast. Everybody thinks they can open a restaurant and the money will just roll right in. You're wrong.
My son walks around saying that.
Hard work and dedication?
Yeah, he says.
Imagine a perfect world where you can build a restaurant, open the doors, and make loads of money. Unfortunately, those days are over. It takes great leadership, hard work, and long hours to operate a successful restaurant. Together, we can make it happen. This is Restauranttopia.
And I told Abraham last night, we had such a good laugh. And I was like, we should just tell these guys when we come in, like, we're really excited to be a part of your first podcast, help you launch this thing. Really excited for you guys. And
it's cute that you guys are doing this.
Yeah, it's very cute. Yeah, we're like the older brother, we're like under Hillcrest, but yeah, we're here to help you out. We're excited to see what you guys can do, and good stuff. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Did you just get it or not? Okay, I'm going to teach you about a little thing called Restauranttopia. Okay.
All right. Tell me about it.
It's this podcast, and it's this fantastic tool because the parent company, Hillcrest, doesn't just throw out charity and push people along. When it comes to their customers, they really have gotten integrated and figured out how do we help the customer. All right. So this beautiful podcast was made. This is the first one, luckily, and I'm happy to be a part of it. But it's called Restauranttopia, and the mission is to go out and be selfless and find people that have been successful, in this industry, and come up with some great tips for them to go out and win, right? It actually was founded by Eat Local Ohio, and Eat Local Ohio is very much the same thing. It was a great business model to start with. And Eat Local Ohio, we just have this incredible opportunity to get involved in the community, to create a sense of camaraderie, and you guys will get there. I know you're going to get there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but we bring local restaurants into the spotlight, share their stories, and this is where I will be honest. I have listened to a lot of your podcasts. I listened to and caught up on some yesterday. So I know that you already have taken the opportunity to talk a lot about marketing and talk a lot about the advantages of social media. I believe that it really rings true that sharing your story and letting people know who you are is always important. It's timeless. Mm-hmm. There's so many local restaurants, and a handful of people I'm sure in this room have worked in restaurants. I helped open new restaurants. One time I put in 96 hours, and the first thing people ask you is, "Oh man, you're only 4 hours away from 100. Why didn't you do it?" And you're like,
"No one asked that.
I wanted to sleep."
What's
I was
people?
sleeping 4 hours a night. And I turn around, this is south of Oakland when I lived out that way.
Yeah.
And you turn around and go right back and open it up again. So a lot of people don't understand the sweat, blood, and tears in a restaurant. That's what I love about doing what I'm doing, getting in and helping people, because I really know when you approach people and ask them how their day is going and really try to figure out what's happening with them, that's what I get to do. I get to be me as soon as I get up and focus on the things I'm interested in.
That's awesome. Yeah. To be able to help an independent operator out is amazing, because that's, again, it's not the Applebee's or the big ginormous chain that has 50 layers of protection on every aspect of their business, from finance to marketing to
to
legal. I mean,
who likes lawyers?
Every company needs a good lawyer. Definitely, you ever want to stop any fun from happening, get a lawyer. You want to make things more complicated, get a lawyer. You want to increase your cost, get a lawyer. All these.
But we're all about, sharing the local love with local businesses, focusing on their fantastic food, their families, their friends, and all these people that work so hard to bring it all the time in their local communities.
And I think operators are concentrating on so many aspects of their business, from HR to food quality and the culinary experience to just hospitality. But the marketing is so foreign, and I think a lot of operators push that off and don't do it. Not because that they don't want to or don't know they that they need to do it. It's just the fact that it's not in their wheelhouse, or their fear of doing it, or just the time to learn.
Sure, you're hitting on a very good point. And for someone like myself that worked in restaurants for the better part of 2 decades before I kind of came over to this side of the table, what a lot of people don't realize is alluding to how much time it takes to open a new restaurant. It's the same thing. It doesn't stop, for an owner, for the people that are invested in that store. They've got so many people to think about. A lot of times when you stop in, you ask them like how they're doing, and you think back to this pandemic, and it's like, hey, like, how's everything going? And that they're like going through their mind about like 30 people before they have the opportunity to really like focus on themselves. And it is such like a selfless like industry. So when you say that, I understand completely. I get it. And when it comes to marketing, you're kind of like, oh, what do I do? Like, when do I have the time for this? Because there's so many things that are going to take precedence over that, like who's going to be here in the morning at 5:00 to fire up my ovens and get things going? Is the oven going to start? Do I need to get a technician out here today for something like a cooler unit that's not temping right? And there's just 1,000 things going on. So I think a lot of people have to prioritize. And it makes sense for someone like us to come in and give them pointers and kind of streamline what they could focus on and how they could get out there. And we love to get in there and promote them to our community.
That is so valuable to an independent operator. Dustin, what are some of the things that like an operator can do working with Eat Local Ohio to really streamline the process, but get effect and not spend all the money? Because it doesn't take $100,000 marketing budget to market for a local independent restaurant.
Sure, of course. Marketing in and of itself can be very costly for owners and operators, and they just don't always have the focus in the right direction. And so I want to say, our parent company, Hillcrest, is amazing. This is an opportunity for us to come out and really help people in a way that is very useful, very targeted, very concise, very useful. And all across the country, around these parts, it could be anywhere from $600-$700 to have somebody come out and do like a full photo shoot. And, as you get to either coast, that amount could be even higher. You're talking about like $1,500 for a visit. And there's places, on the East Coast that spend thousands and thousands of dollars. I've heard of $10,000 booths, like this is where we shoot all of our stuff for Instagram over in Boston. We have that opportunity, but what we come in and do is we focus on and get to know our community better and better. What does our community want to see? And there's so many times that we go through, there's never a better time to support local now, and there was never a better time to support local 2 years ago. It's just there's always continuous reasons why it's important. And for us, what I mean by focusing is specific marketing that has to do with your community, always builds you towards keeping things in that community and prevents people from going and spending all of their money and for these corporations that might be in Texas or Seattle over there for that Starbucks coffee. We have the opportunity to get in and kind of focus like what the audience is focusing on. I had talked to an operator the other day that was still putting some money towards her advertising and her marketing. And some people reached out to her and said, hey, like, why am I seeing your ads down in Florida? And she's like, well, that's a good question. I'm paying somebody, and here my one store in Ohio near Columbus is being advertised down in Florida. It just it gives us the opportunity to come in, like I said, focus exactly on what they could use us for. We're happy to come back and visit people too. A lot of people don't realize that. With Eat Local Ohio, if you have menu changes, you have anything going on that's really different, as Adriana mentioned, there's definitely the opportunity to promote events and do different things.
So Eat Local Ohio will come in, do the photo shoot, do it for free, which is amazing.
Awesome, right?
But I mean, truly amazing that it's free, but it's also high quality, because some of the content that I've seen you guys put together, to me, is amazing. The food photography is next level, but then the interview with the owner, the interview with the chef, and really getting that kind of back of house, front of house feel where you're seeing all aspects of the restaurant. And to me, I think so many restaurateurs out there are just putting out all right, here's 7 shots of our pizza, and that's going to be our carousel or our reel that we're putting out there. And it's like, all right, I can't tell that pizza versus this pizza versus the guy down the street. It looks good. I want to eat it. And that's good content every once in a while. But the content that Eat Local Ohio is producing for people is amazing, because it is the interview with the owner. It is the restaurant shot where it's not just your empty restaurant at 7 a.m. There's people in there. It looks vibrant. The back of the house, it shows the chef cooking and the flame is coming up. It's really amazing content that you guys are putting out. And I think that is the differentiator versus other people who, all right, this guy's a photographer and he goes and does a car dealership on Monday, and he does an HVAC system company on Tuesday, and then in a restaurant. Like, I think food photography and restaurant photography to me is a different beast.
We've learned a great deal, and I know this isn't your first podcast. I've listened to some of them. So a lot of people that come in, and you've had a lot of great people that have focused on marketing. They have a fantastic point to make, and that is that the stories need to be told.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. There's plenty of photo shoots where I've gone in and you meet the owner chef, and a couple kids are running around,
yeah.
and the wife is there, and you're meeting like the whole family. And it really is amazing, and it speaks so many volumes for how awesome this industry is and how much they are deserving of the attention that we come in and give them. We hear their story. We meet their family oftentimes when we go in to do these shoots. They're so deserving to be connected to our amazing followers that care about the local community. And spending money inside your community, as we all know, is very, very beneficial when times are hard, when finances might be strained for a lot of people during, the pandemic. You can't speak enough to how important it is to spend the money in your community and not send it off somewhere else. So we definitely, play to that strength. Community obviously thrives on those dollars being spent locally. And we get to share with the businesses and share with our audience their stories, and it's just an amazing win-win opportunity for us.
I love that, because it peels back the onion of the entrepreneur, the restaurateur, the family behind the brand. Those are real people. Those are in our community. Absolutely. And to just put out 10 photos of the chicken piccata, it doesn't do the origin story justice. It doesn't do the brand justice. Now, when you make it more complex and you have more content out there that's beyond your food, I think that's where the storytelling begins. And Eat Local Ohio does such a great job of showing all aspects of the operation in addition to the food. But the food photography is next level. I mean, I love it.
Well, thank you. Thanks for patting my back. I did want to tell quickly too. I was on a trip very recently, and I was down in Hilton Head, and the kids are running around on this like pirate ship, like playground. And this woman stops me, and I'm not wearing any of my gear. I don't have anything that says like Eat Local that I'm wearing. I think I'm wearing like a golf shirt because it's so hot down there. And she said, "Hi, can you tell me a local place to go get something to eat?" And I was just like, well, where is she getting this? Like, I don't have anything that says Eat Local or Ohio On. I'm like, how does this happen? And I'm looking around, and there's plenty of people around me that look like they eat too. Yeah. So I don't. She just saw me as being an approachable person, and she asked me where to go eat. I said, well, I'm not at home, but there are some local places that I would suggest. And I listed a couple places, and she listened very intently, and she was thankful. And she said, what about a place for soup? And I was just like, lady, it's like 100 degrees outside. Why do you want to go eat soup? This is crazy, right? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know any place to go eat soup.
Right up that line.
Yeah. But when we do travel too, I always kind of extend my Google search and try to find a list of like, where do locals eat? And that's so important anywhere you go. When you go down to Florida, we've got Eat Local Florida visiting us right now. When you look at these national chains that go in and sell to some of these touristy spots along the coast, it's like a mystery fish that you're going into. So it's fantastic to find like a local family spot where that they care about what is being presented to the customer, and they love seeing the customer and that community and that camaraderie are exactly what I was talking about. And then one of the things that I heard recently on one of your podcasts I really wanted to focus on was Google is this amazing tool. And I have posted pictures before for some friends on Google. And very quickly when you post them, you'll find these email alerts that tell you, your picture has been viewed 10,000 times. Your picture has been viewed 20,000
Right?
times.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I got up over 80,000 or over 100,000 for this picture that I posted for someone. But what is important and what I think that we really give the opportunity to cut out is we will focus just on local. So while Google might be a great search when you're looking for your area, there's the Eat Local Ohio app that's going to show you local places. And obviously Google is great and very encompassing, but I like to kind of filter through all the places that aren't local.
You do have to play the game as far as with Google and make sure that you're posting, but the reach that they're getting is next level. I really encourage our listeners to make sure that their friends and family are doing what Dustin suggests and is posting on those, and make sure that your Google My Business is up to date, because those photos are absolutely what people are searching. So when someone goes on their phone, they're new to, Cleveland, Ohio, and they're saying, food near me, Google is going to serve them up obviously the national chains, but there's also going to be the local independents in there. So if you can compete with good food photography and take the Eat Local stuff and make sure that that is posted on your Google My Business, along with your friends and family are also posting, it's tens, if not hundreds of thousands. And if you went on to Facebook and tried to get that type of reach, it's going to cost you a significant amount of money. But you can avoid the expense by just posting it yourself.
Absolutely. Very reinforcing and definitely very beneficial for local spots.
Awesome. Dustin, where can people find more about Eat Local Ohio?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. We have a fantastic app that I'll speak a little bit more on, but it's a fantastic tool to find local eateries, and the map works to know your location and show you what's around, and kind of cuts out all the big corporate places. So I strongly encourage the app download. Our biggest audience is with Instagram. We just passed 50,000 followers. We're really excited about that. We had a nice celebration. In fact, I'm picking up some shirts while I'm up here in Cleveland for prizes. And I'll let Abraham talk to him, but he deserves a big pat on the back for growing a huge TikTok audience as well. And he'll be able to give you the numbers on that.
If a restaurateur wants to get on the Eat Local Ohio app, how do they do that?
Eat Local Ohio is more than happy to get out and shoot photos. We'd love to get out and meet everybody. They can just reach out to us and DM us on Instagram. Pretty quick to respond. We'll see that pop up, and we'll give you a call and get out there. Eat Local Ohio will come out and do some photographs for you. We'll get it built in. We also, on the app itself, are just looking to get anybody local on there. So just reach out to us. Is this where I give Pablo's cell phone number? Yeah. Okay. On the app itself, if you download it, you can make a suggestion for Eat Local Ohio to get out and set up the photo shoot so they can get it on there very quick.
Awesome. And so number one, you have to be a local independent restaurant. And number two, it's free, right?
Yes. Free.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dustin. I really appreciate your time today. Check them out on eatlocalohio.com. Check out the app. Very cool stuff. Check them out on Instagram, TikTok. Really good content on a daily basis. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
There we go.
This is a high quality pod. Thank you, everybody.
Take care. Adios.
Thank you for listening to Restaurantopia. The gratitude that we have for each and every one of you spending your precious time to listen to this podcast is immeasurable. Please make sure to tell a friend about this podcast. And also, if you have any feedback for us, visit us on restaurantopia.com and drop us a line. You can also subscribe on your favorite place to listen to podcasts. Thank you and have a great day.
We are excited to announce the Restaurantopia VIP Text Club. Join by texting the word podcast to 844-928-4257. You will get access to exclusive content, industry news, deals, announcements, pro tips, and more. The VIP Text Club is an exclusive community of independent restaurant owners and professionals. Join today. Message and data rates may apply. Please check our website for our terms of service and privacy policy.
We also want to thank our sponsor, Hillcrest Food Service. If you are a local independent restaurant and are looking for a distributor who has chef and operational consulting, provides marketing support, does menu reviews, and most importantly, wants you to be successful, reach out to Hillcrest Food Service at hillcrestfoods.com.